Don't feed Caitlyn. Caitlyn is a long-range physical damage champion with strong single-target damage. Caitlyn has a slower base movement speed of 300, putting her on par with several other range carry champions. Her normal attack range is 650, the highest currently in the league at early levels. Her projectile speed is extremely fast, allowing for easier last hitting in lane. Caitlyn's passive is Headshot. Caitlyn gains a stacking buff every time she uses a normal attack. Once she has several stacks, she gains the Headshot buff, causing her next normal attack to deal significantly more damage. Headshot makes a clear sound when the buff is gained, and a clear shrapnel animation persists around Caitlyn until it is consumed. Headshot procs deal more damage to minions and champions, though the damage bonus is significant in both cases. Caitlyn gains 2 stacks instead of 1 every time she attacks from within a bush. If her next headshot proc only requires 1 more stack and she fires from a bush, that shot will be a headshot. While attacking structures, Caitlyn gains headshot stacks but will not consume the headshot buff. Headshot will not be consumed while Caitlyn is silenced. Because it affects a normal attack, headshot is not blocked by spell shields. While headshots can critically strike, the bonus damage from headshot is only applied to Caitlyn's base damage, not to any bonus damage from the critical strike. Caitlyn's Piltover Peacemaker is a line skill shot that deals physical damage. This will hit all enemies in its path, though it deals less damage after each enemy it hits in its path, down to a minimum of 40% of the ability's damage. Once the ability has been activated, it cannot be cancelled even if Caitlyn is stunned while casting. This ability has a clear cast time and animation that allows enemies to more easily dodge it. Caitlyn's Yordle Snap Trap is a trap placed at any nearby location that remains active for several minutes. If an enemy walks over this trap, they take magic damage and are briefly immobilized. Additionally, Caitlyn's team is granted vision on the affected player for a relatively long duration. When cast, Yordle Snap Trap briefly grants vision in a very small area around it. The trap has a very brief setup time before it becomes functional. Caitlyn's traps are visible to enemies while in sight and will appear on the minimap. If inside a bush that enemies don't have vision on, the trap is not visible. Only 3 traps can be active at a time. If there are already 3 traps active on the map, when a new trap is placed, the oldest trap will be removed. Spell shields completely negate traps. Morgana's Black Shield prevents the damage and immobilized, but vision is still granted. Caitlyn's 90 caliber net is a line skill shot that deals magic damage and briefly slows an enemy hit by it. Additionally, Caitlyn is knocked back a moderate distance. 90 caliber net can launch Caitlyn over small walls and obstructions. The ability can be used both to get in range of a target for a kill or as an effective escape mechanism. Caitlyn's ultimate is Ace in the Hole. This is a targeted ability that can be used on any champion within a massive range. After briefly channeling, Caitlyn fires a shot that deals a very high physical damage to the target once it lands. While the shot is preparing and firing, there is a clearly visible red line between Caitlyn and her target, and Caitlyn's team gains vision on the target. The red line indicates the exact path the projectile will follow. If an enemy champion stands in the projectile's path, they can intercept the shot themselves and take the damage. Clones, such as Shaco's Hallucinate, can also block the effect. In other words, a champion quickly running into the red line can save another champion's life. By the same token, the targeted champion running behind an ally can have the same effect. If a target dies during the initial channeling of the ability is cancelled, but the full cooldown of the ability is not applied. This is also true if Caitlyn is stunned or silenced during the channel. Instead, Caitlyn needs only to wait a few seconds before attempting the shot again. In this situation, the ability does cost double the mana due to casting the ability twice. That said, if the channeling is finished and the shot has been fired, it will take the full cooldown of the ability regardless of whether it hits its target or not. In other words, if the target is killed before the shot lands, but after the initial channeling completes, she will take the full cooldown. Caitlyn is a very strong single-target champion, and this remains true throughout the game. Though the role of ranged AD carry is fairly straightforward, there are a few things to keep in mind when dealing with Caitlyn. First, in terms of counters, Caitlyn is a very strong early game counter to many other ranged carries, including Vayne. Her range allows easy farm and harass, and if played well, will allow for early game domination. Yordle Snap Traps are dangerous throughout the game, but can be especially devastating in the early game. Because of the vision granted and the brief immobilize, they can fully stop attempted ganks. They can also allow for an easy pilt-over Peacemaker shot on a player who accidentally steps on the trap. Though they have a wind-up time, there are several places where a trap can simply be placed under a player and they will be affected by the trap. For instance, a trap placed under an allied Urgot as he swaps another player into his spot will trap the affected player. Pay attention to positioning. Caitlyn has great range on her own, but her 90 caliber net is not strictly a defensive ability. It can also be used more as a blink to quickly get her in range of someone who is out of her attack range and at low health. Once Caitlyn reaches level 6, keep positioning in mind at all times. An ace in the hole is a death sentence for a low health player, but it can be easily stopped by a more survivable champion if both players are watching out for it. If Caitlyn moves out of vision, she may be moving into an unexpected angle for an ace in the hole shot, so be prepared. In the mid, and especially late game, team fights in or near the jungle become especially dangerous against a farm Caitlyn. Anywhere Caitlyn can get away with staying in a bush, her sustained damage will be significantly increased due to her passive. Thanks for watching this Don't Feed. Be sure to subscribe with the button on the upper right. Check out my previous movie in this series, Don't Feed Victor, by clicking the movie thumbnail on the right. As always, check the movie information box below for general thoughts and series updates, and let your friends know about this series to help promote it in the League of Legends community. Also, make a post on the official League of Legends forum thread linked below if you really enjoy the series.